Hey everybody, name is Ricky Sellers from the Agape Community Christian Church, and I'm here again with your next promise segment. Now we're going over the book of Genesis. Now the book of Genesis is kind of long, or it's kind of really long. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a pretty big starter book, up to about 50 chapters. So it's going to take about three, maybe four segments to get through this book all the way through. So if you guys bear with me, I will keep going if y'all like still, if y'all stick with me. But here it is, the book of Genesis. If I were to sum this book up in one word, that word would be election. And the reason why I choose this word is because all through the book of Genesis, God elects different people to be his spokesman, to put out this new word of who he is, and put out this understanding of his faith, and how everything works with God and his interaction with us. Okay? So let's start with the beginning of the book of Genesis. Well, in the beginning, the world was null, it was void, it was just a black blah, a ball or something, if you want to think of it like that. It had nothing on it. So God decided to create something out of it. So he, put some grass on there, some animals, started creating a light, and made that day, and darkness, and called that night. He made the ocean, and he made the animals and the fish. He made everything. And the sixth day, I think he made man. And on the seventh day, he rested. And that's pretty much cool. So after that, we talk about the creation of man and what happened here. Well, when God made man, he made the first man and he named him Adam. And Adam, he was up here and God gave Adam dominion over all the animals and everything here. And God said, you know what? It's not good for man to be alone. Man needs a helpmate. So, he put Adam to sleep, and with Adam's rib bone, he created Eve. So Adam and Eve was here cool of a day, got dominion over all the animals and the plants and everything. And God gave them specific instructions. He said, look, man, y'all be fruitful and y'all multiply. And y'all can have at whatever y'all want to have at, eat whatever y'all want to eat, do what y'all want to do. But you see that tree of life over there? Have at it. But that tree over there, that's of the knowledge of good and evil, don't touch it, or you will die. Because man wasn't meant to die. We were meant to live forever, right? And that's the reason why death is such a jacked up situation for us, because we're meant to live forever. But anyway, Eve got tempted by the devil, who was a snake at the time. It didn't walk, but he was a snake at the time. And he tempted Eve. And, he told her to eat the fruit. She'll have powers like God, so, and the wisdom like God. So she ate the fruit, and she gave that fruit to Adam, and he ate it. The minute that fruit was eaten, sin entered into the world. Murders happened. There's all kind of fornication, sodomy, all kind of jacked up stuff started coming out or started entering into this world. The possibilities were limitless. And if y'all look at today's day and age, the possibilities are really limitless. Just look at World Star Hip Hop or YouTube or anything like that. Well, anyway, when sin entered into the world, God cursed Adam and Eve. Now women have pain during childbirth, and men, we got to work to eat now and to support our families. Well, after Adam and Eve, comes Cain and Abel. And Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve had some time together and decided to have a kid, so they had Cain and Abel. And with Cain and Abel, there was time to give a sacrifice. And Cain gave a sacrifice of vegetables, and Abel gave a sacrifice of a lamb. And the rules for sacrifices, it needs to be a blood sacrifice. God needs a blood sacrifice and to accept it. Well, Abel was disobedient. Well, Cain was disobedient, and he gave a vegetable sacrifice. So God didn't accept Cain's sacrifice, but he accepted Abel's sacrifice. Long story short, Cain got jealous and killed Abel because God didn't accept his sacrifice. Isn't that something? You got jealous and killed Abel. Well, the product of that is Cain was cursed. He had a curse on his forehead, and he was cursed to be considered what it is what's called a nomad, somebody that has no place to go and just travel. And if anybody hurts Cain, they actually deal with a curse 10 times worse than what was on Cain's head. Abel died. Adam and Eve needed new children, so they had another son by the name of Seth. And Seth was really one of the main individuals that helped jump off a lot of the generations that have come. Or he's actually pretty much like Jesus's great 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 grandfather, right? He just started off a lot of the generations. And after we talk about Seth, we're going to a whole lot of the generations. And during this time, when you go into a whole lot of the generations, God was looking at all these people. He said these people were being sinful. These people were doing a lot of bad stuff. I'm not pleased with any of these people. So I'm going to eradicate and start anew. So in all these people he was looking at from these generations, he saw one person um, that was perceived to be right in his eyes, or that he had favor on, and it was Noah. And he told Noah that, you know what, I'm gonna wipe this place out, and you need to let these people know what I'm doing, and let them know they're doing wrong. So, as far as the book of Genesis goes, I'm gonna stop right there, because it's like summed up in a lot of different. I mean, you got God, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Noah, um, Lot, you know, and then you got, Abraham, Isaac, Esau, and Jacob. And then you got Joseph. In the Bible, the book of Genesis stops with the story of Joseph. So all those stories kind of are comprised in the book of Genesis. We're stopping at the end of Cain and Abel and Seth, and we're starting kind of in the beginning of Noah. So the next segment, we're going to start with Noah and move a little further and see how far we can get. Thank you guys for your time. Have any questions, trying to get in deeper? The Bible's filled with so much more information than what I just told you. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up, inbox me. We'll talk. Have a blessed one. Peace. Oh,